Conversationalism, the art of thesis and antithesis in unfolding thought. I'm excited to get into this one, but before we do, hey, I'm Aqua or Aquarius of Fallen Snow if you don't know me. Welcome to another breakdown video on my channel. If you've been here before, welcome back, happy to have you with us again. But let's jump right into it. Conversationalism, a dynamic philosophical approach that unveils how the intricate interplay of a thesis and its antithesis doesn't just lead to debate, but to a deeper, more refined, and ultimately more sophisticated understanding of complex ideas. Imagine thought itself as a living, evolving entity shaped and clarified through ongoing critical dialogue. As we delve into this fascinating method, we'll discover how embracing its conversational approach can dramatically enhance both the clarity of our thinking and the effectiveness of our communication in every aspect of life. But what is conversationalism? At its very essence, it's a philosophical stance that champions the indispensable role of critical dialogue and the robust exchange of ideas in the pursuit of truth and understanding. It's a recognition that knowledge isn't static, residing in isolated minds, but rather emerges and refines itself through dynamic interactions. This approach possesses deep roots that stretch across diverse intellectual landscapes, finding resonance in both Western philosophical traditions, particularly in dialectical methods, and crucially in rich African philosophical thought. A profound basis for this approach in Africa is found in the Igbo concept, arumaruka, or arumaruka. This term beautifully encapsulates the very essence of critical conversation, highlighting its centrality not just for academic debate, but for the development of ideas that are inherently more nuanced and contextually relevant. It suggests that wisdom isn't a solitary acquisition, but a communal achievement, a constantly evolving process where ideas are sharpened, challenged, and transformed through a continuous flow of engagement. Conversationalism, therefore, invites us into a collaborative intellectual space where ideas are tested, not merely asserted. Now, let's look at the key aspects of the dynamic intellectual process. Conversationalism is far more than just polite discussion. It embodies a vigorous and transformative intellectual process characterized by several key aspects. One of its most compelling features is its capacity for transforming foreign concepts to fit local contexts. This isn't about mere appropriation, but about a thoughtful, active engagement with external ideas, reinterpreting, adapting, and grounding them within indigenous cultural and intellectual frameworks. This process, in turn, facilitates a gradual but profound decolonization of thought, dismantling intellectual hegemonies, and fostering self-determined philosophical development. It allows for the organic fusing of modern and traditional ideas, creating syntheses that are both contemporary and deeply rooted in historical wisdom. Beyond mere adaptation, conversationalism encourages an inherent spirit of inquiry. It fosters the courage to question established authorities and to scrutinize prevailing theories and ideas. This isn't skepticism for its own sake, but a rigorous, ongoing examination to ensure that ideas remain genuinely relevant, effective, and ethically sound in ever-changing circumstances. By wholeheartedly embracing these principles, this constant questioning, adapting, and integrating, we can cultivate an intellectual environment that is not only more inclusive and diverse, but also profoundly more dynamic and capable of genuine innovation. It's a philosophy that champions intellectual vitality through continuous self-correction and communal refinement. At the very heart of conversationalism, and indeed central to any profound intellectual progress, lies the powerful interplay between the thesis and antithesis. This dynamic tension isn't merely a logical exercise, it's the very engine that drives the refinement and sophistication of our arguments, pushing us beyond simplistic answers to deeper truths. A thesis is our initial proposition, an assertion, or an idea that we put forth. It's the starting point of our intellectual journey, a statement of our belief or observation. Its counterpart, the antithesis, is a counter-proposition that directly contradicts, challenges, or negates the original thesis. In the rich tapestry of African philosophy, these opposing yet interdependent ideas are sometimes referred to by the Igbo terms unwa ense, the initial idea, like a seed, and the inwa inju, the idea that pushes back, creating friction and growth. This beautiful metaphor highlights their organic and essential relationship. The very friction generated by the confrontation between these opposing ideas is what compels us to transcend our initial, often limited perspectives. It forces us to reconsider, to reevaluate, and ultimately to elevate our understanding to a more nuanced and comprehensive level. Without the challenge of the antithesis, the thesis might remain undeveloped, its weaknesses unexamined, and its full implications unexplored. The deliberate and skillful use of antithesis profoundly enhances the clarity and impact of our arguments, moving them from mere statements to compelling insights. It achieves this by creating a stark, illuminating contrast that foregrounds key differences and critical distinctions. This profound juxtaposition doesn't just highlight important points, it actively engages the audience on a deeper cognitive level. By presenting clear, opposing choices or perspectives, antitheses compel the audience to weigh options, consider consequences, and discern the precise boundaries of each idea. Furthermore, antithesis often lends itself to parallel structures in language, which makes complex ideas remarkably more accessible and memorable. Let's think of the compelling force of the phrase built on contrast. Not just X, but Y. Or it is this, yet it is also that. This linguistic precision encourages concise expression, stripping away ambiguity and forcing us to articulate the precise nature of the opposition. It helps us and our audience to more effectively identify and evaluate different viewpoints, leading to a much clearer understanding of the stakes and nuances within an argument. It's an invitation to discern, not just to absorb. The conversational method at the core of conversationalism is truly a process of mutual refinement, enhancing both the initial thesis and its challenging antithesis through sustained, empathetic engagement. This method doesn't aim for a final, static synthesis where one idea simply triumphs over another. Instead, it advocates for recognizing the contextual validity of each perspective. It understands that truth isn't always singular or absolute, but often lies in the dynamic relationship between different, even seemingly contradictory viewpoints. By approaching ideas in this way, we consciously avoid forcing a premature synthesis, a compromise that might dilute the power of distinctness of either perspective. Instead, we allow ideas to evolve continuously, encouraging a dynamic process of reshuffling and improvement. This means that as arguments are tested, challenged, and re-articulated through ongoing dialogue, they don't just become clearer, they ascend to progressively higher levels of sophistication and nuanced understanding. It ensures that our arguments remain flexible, adaptable, and genuinely relevant to ever-changing realities, always open to new insights and deeper layers of truth. It's an inherent journey towards greater wisdom that is never truly complete. In sum, by consciously embracing the principles of conversationalism and harnessing the potent interplay of thesis and antithesis, We unlock the capacity to develop arguments that are not only more sophisticated and nuanced, but also profoundly more contextually relevant and deeply insightful. This dynamic approach does far more than merely clarify our individual thinking. It actively promotes understanding and fosters genuine intellectual connection across diverse perspectives. It cultivates an environment where disagreement is not an end, but a catalyst for growth, where challenges lead to clarity, and where ideas, like living organisms, are constantly refined and strengthened through interaction. Ultimately, conversationalism stands as a powerful tool for cultivating deeper insights, facilitating profound understanding, and achieving truly effective, empathetic communication in all spheres of life. It reminds us that wisdom is not found in monologue, but in the ongoing vibrant dialogue of humanity. What are your thoughts on how a conversational approach might shift the way we typically engage in debates or discussions? How might applying the dynamics of thesis and antithesis change your way of everyday communication? I would love to hear your insights in the comments below. And I think this might be one of the best philosophies we've ever covered and looked at on this channel. Not only do I love the idea or the concept of it, but I think applying it in everyday life in communication with people would be super helpful, not only for oneself or society as a whole, in my opinion. Because how nice would it be to have a conversation with someone where if you don't agree with their point of view, you could offer an antithesis that both continues the conversation and reinforces both points of view by offering different points of view, you know? But again, let me know what you think of this one in the comments below, and while you're down there, might as well hit subscribe. Not only to help us build the community on our way to 100 subscribers, but then you never miss a new video, especially if you hit the bell to turn on notifications. But that being said, I'll leave this one here for now. If you enjoyed this video, I'll have more like this linked under the eye icon as well as in the description below. And I'll make sure to add this video to the playlist that I have of philosophy breakdown videos, so you can easily find more just like this one. But yeah, I'll stop rambling now. Like I say in all my videos, I love you, stay safe, good luck, and take it easy.